right, and we're not going to stop. There's free speech and then there's hate speech. And there is no place, especially now, especially after what happened to Charlie, in our society.
Do you see more law enforcement going after these groups who are using hate speech and putting cuffs on people so we show them that some action is better than no action?
We will absolutely target you, go after you if you are targeting anyone with hate speech, anything. And that's across the aisle.
Stop helping.
So this lady has managed to create the Unite the Right and the Left internet rally by going around and saying some of the most absurd and crazy things. And she's going viral. I mean, she would be a great YouTuber, a great content creator. And I'm not making this statement lightly. I'm just looking at the numbers. I'm looking at 11.1 million views. If she opens a channel and she is this viral consistently, she would end up making far more money than she makes with this job right now. Would also be more influential. So here you have another video where she's basically suggesting that it should be illegal for a company to refuse to print Charlie Kirk posters.
Terrific. It's free speech, but you shouldn't be employed anywhere if you're going to say that. And employers, you have an obligation to get rid of people. You need to look at people who are saying horrible things, and they shouldn't be working with you. Businesses cannot discriminate. If you want to go in and print posters with Charlie's pictures on them for a vigil, you have to let them do that.
Did I hear that correctly, right? So, like, up until now, she's talking about morality. Like, she's the Catholic Church. She's like, okay, fine. You know, like, she can have moral principles. You can have her own takes. But this is the part where I don't get, right? Like, if you're a business and you have a customer coming in and they want to print a poster, according to her, you have to let them?
And print posters with Charlie's pictures on them for a vigil, you have to let them do that. We can prosecute you for that. I have Harmeet Dillon right now in our civil rights unit looking at that immediately. That all.
I mean, he can look at it all month, but at the end of the day, it was already decided by the Supreme Court that bake the cake, you fucking bigot, is unconstitutional. So if a customer doesn't want to go to a place because they refuse to print the posters, that's one thing. But for the government to decide to prosecute a business place because they don't want to print whatever, that's their decision. Like, unless they're like just not wanting to have black people as customers or something like that. I think like that may actually be protected by the civil rights. But no, I think like literally any company on earth can decide if they don't want to take a job. And like, in what world did she think it's a good idea to suggest otherwise? Like, it wouldn't benefit the right. That's the thing, you know, like now, sure, is the Charlie Kirk situation, which of course it's a traumatic event for many right-wingers, like I understand it. But 5 years from now, right? Like imagine if it's now in law and basically in practice that the government can go after your business if you refuse to take certain contracts. Because like that's how the law works. It doesn't stop at like one case. It finds what the principle is, and if the principle is like you're not allowed to refuse to print whatever, then other people can force you to print whatever they want, right? But anyway, the reason it even got over here, I think like this tweet explains it best. As you can see, it's got only almost 1 million views. And you have a leftist, and the leftist asks genuine question. How are we supposed to engage with the right or literally anything anymore? You can point out their hypocrisy around prosecuting free speech and defending a pedophile. So they're basically talking, I think, about the president of the United States of America regarding to the Epstein situation, the files that aren't released, right? You can point to facts and graphs. You can even quote them directly. None of it matters, right? So like you have this leftist person that noticed that the right wings have morally decoupled from the left. This is something that's happening in a cyclical way in the United States. I've noticed it time and time again in history, and I talked about it in my previous videos. Americans are founded on puritanical values, and once a side gets power and remains in power too much, it becomes too controlling, too invasive in people's private life. It sinks into every hobby and it tries to push its morality on everyone else. So the first generation that I caught was the Bush era, right? And they were trying to push intelligent design in schools. They were trying to push creationism. They were trying to control the music industry by banning heavy metal, going after goth, going after slasher films, going after Hollywood. And people like were generally trying to appease the individuals from the Bush era. They did their best, and there wasn't social media back then, but you had like a mother, an uncle, a father that were incredibly controlling. And the individuals that I knew, like, they genuinely tried to appease these people, but they noticed that no matter how much you try, like, nothing is good enough, because these people were Karens, right? Like, they were puritanical in their views. Like, you'll never be pure enough. And so at some point they morally decoupled and they voted for Obama. And then they did literally the opposite with the sole reason to piss off the people from the Bush era. And once they got in power, again, the authoritarianism kicks in. Like, they have to control everything. They have to push their morality everywhere. You get LGBT in schools. You get woke video games. You get woke football, woke beer. Everything has to be their morality, and they have to control everything. And so now you get, like, the other decoupling. Now right-wingers are yet again decoupling from the left. And I assume, like, they're going to do literally everything in order to piss off the left, and it's going to be like 10 more years or 15 more years of the opposite of what we had until now. And at some point, like, the left will decouple from the right, and the trend will continue. I think this is what you expect from nations that are founded on puritanical values. It's not good or bad, it's just an observation. However, with that said, I do like the fact that right-wingers have breaks. And when one of their own starts talking about hate speech, it's time to stop ignoring the left and say, all right, on this issue, okay? Like, maybe on this issue, we can have common ground. And it's kind of funny because the left right now, like, is attacking her, not because, like, they hate the concept of hate speech. I mean, they're the ones inventing it, right? But they think that, we're going to lash out at the right and making them look hypocritical. When in reality, the right is like, no, you're absolutely right. Like, yeah, like, she overstepped. Yeah, our bad, you know? This whole idea that I see in some right-wing groups, like, you should never punch right, is absolutely mental. And I will explain why. The reason that most right-wingers now are properly spoken and common sense people is because they went through 1 decade of censorship. And in order to be able to have an account, you had to be presentable, because the people that weren't, they got banned. And not only did you have to be presentable, but you also required to be educated and navigate the political correctness labyrinth and know exactly how to have a debate and how to have a discourse. Meanwhile, leftists didn't. Like, leftists would have all the spurgs. They would have politicians that couldn't debate if their life depended on it. And so the question is why? Why is this happening? Like, are people on the left much better than people on the right? Like, no, obviously, like, right-wingers have their own hillbillies. They have their own uneducated people. But the difference is that the power is with the left, right? So all the grifters, all the psychopaths, all of the people that are unhinged will go to the left because they get a pass, right? I mean, look at Hassan Piker. Like, Hassan Piker can be as unhinged as he wants and nothing happens to him. Yet. Like, I understand Elon Musk called Jeff Bezos 30 minutes ago. We'll see if that leads to anything. But the idea is, like, once you're in power and once you consolidate power, you lose the quality control. Like, before gaining in power, it's in your interest to make sure that you don't have the mental asylum in your group because you're trying to get the sympathies of the normies. That's pretty much how the power game works. It's like trying to get the middle onto your side. Get people to give a shit about your issues, basically, right? And you can't do that if you have, like, the mental asylum coming around. But once you're in power, you don't care, right? So the idea of, like, stop punching right means losing quality control. And you lose the people that helped you get where you are. And that doesn't exist on the left. Like, they don't have quality control. And I'm pretty sure they're going to start. And you're going to notice it. Like they're going to actually start distancing themselves from people that are mentally unwell or in the. I mean, it's actually happening right now. Like the reason that right wingers are able to cancel culture people on the left is because the left has actually started to have quality control. It's like, yeah, we can't associate with someone that noticed a man dying while his daughter was there and is now cheering about it on social media. Like 10 years ago, they wouldn't give a shit, right? Like, I want you to remember that Kathy Griffin, for instance, initially was fired, then was rehired because the leftists, they had this idea, never punch left. They don't have it anymore. And I'm glad to see that at least right-wingers now, they're pretty much saying, it's like, no, hold on a little bit. This whole concept of, like, saying hate speech is ridiculous. Hate speech doesn't exist in the United States as a legal issue. Like it's an issue in Europe, in the United Kingdom, but not in the United States. And I did see a couple of right-wingers trying to defend her and basically say, oh, well, she meant incitement to violence. No, words have meaning, okay? Incitement to violence is a very strict, and yes, it's a legal issue, but it's very strict. It refers to a certain thing. Hate speech refers to a wide variety of things. It's very ambiguous, and it has no legal ramification. And so, in her position, she needs to start using the English language correctly, because unlike me, it's not her second language. And also, she's a public official. So, hate speech is a tool that the left uses specifically to target the right. Legitimizing this concept means that, well, when the next Democrat manages to win elections, they can basically point and say, well, look, even the right agreed with the hate speech. I mean, the attorney general, blah, blah, blah. You don't want to get into that situation, right? So right-wingers are absolutely right to call her out. And she's getting grilled by many people. I understand even Matt Walsh grilled her. He's a specialist in grilling, right? Like grilling, fishing, and Jesus. The only hobbies Matt Walsh allows. But when he does do the grilling, he does it properly, which is a situation like we saw today. Let me know what you guys think. And as usual, I'll see you in the comment section. Take care.